guess what time it is, y'all? It's story time. I told y'all I was gonna be coming back. No, I just got a story to tell y'all. It happened to me this past week. This past weekend actually. So I hope everyone having a wonderful, wonderful day. It's kind of still a little breezy out here. I see I got my little jacket on, but I mean I don't think it's hot enough to not wear the jacket because this weather right here gets you sick. But anyway, guys, Talks with T. Like, comment, and please, please, please subscribe. Do me that favor. Kiss, kiss. Okay, let's get started. So last week I had ordered a package and I was going away, right? I was going away to see my dude. And so it was some items in there, I wasn't taking the whole package, but it was a few items in there that I had ordered that I wanted to take with me. So, I'm gonna be cute wherever I go, that's just me, okay? But I had some stuff in there that I wanted to wear. However, I get home late one night and I get an email from the merchant and they were, letting me know that the package was delivered. So I was like, yeah, I was happy because I was like, one thing about me, I love ordering stuff and I love shopping online, and I really, really get a bang out of opening up a package. I don't know what it is. I'd rather open up a package than go in a store and purchase it. That's just the truth. I don't know what it is. But anyway, moving forward, I get home that night. I look at my mail. My mailbox is very, very small. Mind you, it's very, very small. It's, it's wide enough to put mail in. It's not short. It's wide and small. And if you happen to get a package, what the carrier does is leave a key in there so that you can go to the boxes up below my mailbox, right? And if I get something from a merchant, any other time, UPS and FedEx and places like that, they will store it in our Amazon locker room, right? So what they do is they send you a scan code on your phone. So when you go there, you just put it up to the machine, and it scans it, and then one of the doors pop open. But the USPS, the United States Post Office, garbage. You would think that the administration had fired half of the freaking staff the way they operate. But anyway, getting back to my story. So I'm looking at my mailbox, so I'm like, hold up. I know it ain't gonna be in my mailbox because the package was big. So I knew it had to be in one of the overflow packages. So where's my key? So I'm looking and feeling. No key in the mailbox now, mind you. I'm like, wait a minute now. Now I know good and well it said my package was delivered. So I contact the customer service, the merchant's customer service. I'm chatting with them. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, yo, my package is not in my box. It's saying it's delivered, so what's going on? We're like, where's my package? Let me know, because normally when the package is delivered, they know specifically where the carrier left the package. Like, they know. They were like, well, it's in your mailbox. I said, it's nothing in my mailbox. Well, it's got to be somewhere near your mailbox. I said, well, near my mailboxes are the overflow boxes, which you have to have a key to enter. I don't have a key. It's nothing in my mailbox but junk mail. I threw the mail away. It's nothing but mail. But mail. And they're like, blah, 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 blah. It's showing it's delivered. I said, well, y'all need to figure out what my package is. Y'all need to contact the carrier because this is who you paid to deliver my package. So they were like, well, listen. We'll try to figure it out, contact us tomorrow, which is the next business day, and let's see how it goes. Because he could have took it somewhere and left it in the office of my leasing office or whatever. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So, moving forward, that was the next day. That was a Friday now, mind you. So I'm like, no package. They haven't seen the package. I called them. The lady was like, no, we haven't seen the package. And I checked the Amazon locker room myself. No package. Matter of fact, you can't even get in the lockers unless you have the code on the scan code. So I'm just pissed at this moment. I'm just literally gratified because I'm like, what's going on? So the first thing comes to my mind is, wait a minute, my mailbox actually is right under my neighbors. And one time before, they gave me my neighbor's mail by accident. And of course, me, you know, abiding citizen, I took her package and put it in front of her door. I screenshot it. I knocked at her door. She didn't come to the door, but I screenshot it just to let her know ain't no foolishness going on. This is your package. So if you don't get your package, then that's on you, sis. So anyway, moving forward, when I left the mailbox, I went and knocked at her door. Is this man out of his freaking mind? Mind you, it's a tractor trailer truck in front of me. I'm in my lane. He's getting over with 25 trucks on the back. Why you just decided you wanted to get off? Because you should have been broke yourself and put your signal on to turn. What is wrong with you? That's dangerous. I seen one of them cars fly off and kill the whole family. Like, what's wrong with you, man? Anyway, make me have road rage. Yes, because this is my life. And you driving a little reckless right now. Because your ass should have been got off. Excuse me, y'all. But anyway. So, now I don't play about that type of stuff. Like, you doing too much. He should have stayed on the highway. Why don't you get off on a business exit when you got 25 trucks on the back? That doesn't make sense. But anyway, moving forward. So, the leasing office manager said, no, ma'am, we haven't received your package. I'm sorry. And I'm like, oh, no. We're not doing that. So I'm going back and forth with her. You know, she's trying to help me and everything. And matter of fact, got to go back. When I got home that night, I went and knocked at my neighbor's door. I was like, boom, boom, boom. She was like, I heard somebody say, shh. And I hear her little dog barking. So I'm like, okay. She must be expecting me. So I'm thinking all crazy and everything. So I said, she opens the door. She doesn't open it all the way. She cracks it. So I'm like, oh, okay. Hi, how are you? I got a package. I said it was delivered today at 12:40, which I was not here. And, you know, it's nighttime. And I'm just coming to see if maybe you retrieve my package out of your box, because I'm thinking that mailman made a mistake because he's done it before. So maybe, you know, you have my package and you're holding it for me. You know, if so, thank you, and I'm here to get it. So she was like, no, I don't have no package. I did look in P3. It was the key. It was open, and I looked in there. So that started making me start thinking a little crazy, because first of all, like I stated, the overflow boxes are at the bottom row of all the mailboxes, but you have to have a key to enter those. It's just not no key sitting there. When you got a package that's in the overflow box, he leaves a key in your mailbox to let you know that you have a package that's in one of those overflow boxes. So how did you get the key? If he didn't leave it in your, if he left the key, he had to have left it in your box, but it got to be a package. He's not gonna leave a key unless it's a package, right? So how did you get the key? She said, well, yeah, I did open it. It was empty. I said, okay. So I'm starting to think, like, wait a minute now, something ain't right. How did you get a key? First of all, because he has to put a key in your box for you to get a key. Second of all, why would you even look in a box that is unlocked and then you say it's empty? Because when I'm going to the mailbox, if I'm not looking for a package, I have no reason to look in a box, whether it's empty, whether it's a key in the door or what. I don't have a reason to look in no box, because it don't have nothing to do with me. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, she went on to say, well, no, I did look in the box, but it was empty. I was like, okay. So the next day I'm calling USPS, and I'm speaking to managers. I want to speak to everybody, because y'all need to find my package. Like, literally, I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to go out of town. Y'all need to find my package. So anyway, they couldn't find the package still. They said, well, the package is showing delivered. I said, I don't care what it's showing. I'm telling you that it wasn't a package in my box. A package couldn't fit in my box. The package was huge. Nor was it a key in my box. So y'all better come up with something. So at that point, the manager was like, okay, we just have to investigate this. We'll get back in touch with you in 2 to 3 business days, blah, blah, blah. So of course at this point I'm furious, because I'm like, you know what, y'all have no consideration. The mail carrier, by right, as a mail carrier, as his job, he is the one that screwed up this whole ordeal. He should have got in touch with me. But my leasing manager said she spotted him out there delivering mail. She stopped him and she was like, listen, she's supposed to have a package in her box. It was no package. Her package said it was delivered. It was no key in it for her to indicate that she can look in the overflow boxes to find her package. So what's going on? And he was like, well, okay, I'm going to look through all the mailboxes. Of course, he did none of that because he was inconsiderate, okay? Because had he done it, when I get to the end of the story, you'll see what I mean when I say that had he done it. Anyway, moving forward. So she was like, well, he's supposed to come back in here and tell me if he found it or not. He never found it. Mind you, I'm ready to go out of town. My mother had a 80th birthday. I spent that day with her at a restaurant or whatever. I was ready to go out of town. So I'm like, I need my stuff. I got plenty of items and stuff, but I wanted that stuff that I paid for. So anyway, so she was like, well, I called her back the next day. She was like, I'm sorry, he never came back. And I'm like, you know what, let me call his supervisor because he's playing with me. So I called the post office and I spoke to his supervisor. He was like, you know what, I'm going to get on him because regardless of what, he had no business. He should have came in there and made it right, because first of all, the whole incident occurred because it was his fault, not because it was your fault. It was his fault. He made a simple mistake. He either put the key in the mailbox that you described, your neighbor, or he put it in somebody else's box. So therefore, whoever it is, they got your package. So we're trying to retrieve your package and make sure nobody tries to keep it, because sometimes people will keep a package. And I'm just like, I'm disgusted because first of all, I know I could be refunded after the fact, but the point is, I sit and handpick everything that I purchase. That's the one thing about me. I might be on the phone for 2 hours. Look, if I'm shopping online, I may be on the phone 2 hours picking out everything that I want. Like, it's like I'm my own freaking stylist, my own shopper. I took my time and energy to do this. I was pissed at that point. So anyway, so she was like, well, so the manager was like, I'm gonna have a talk with him when he comes in, because this is the second time he's done it with you, and he's done it a few times with other people. I said, yeah, you need to check him, because obviously he's not getting enough rest when he come to work, and he's sleepy and tired or lazy. He doesn't pay attention to his job. You cannot be a postal service worker and you not paying attention. You got to pay attention, because you messing with people's important documents. You messing with money, you messing with everything, mail, important stuff. So anyway, he was like, yeah, you're right. So anyway, he must have had a talk with him. So fast forward, I'm calling her. I'm out of town, right? I'm with my dude. I'm out of town, and I'm calling her in my leasing office, and she's like, well, yeah, he came in. He came in here, and he's still saying, he didn't see a package and this and that. I'm like, you know what? So by this time, the manager said, well, listen, we're going to refund you your money. I said, first of all, you're not even refunding me what I pay for my stuff. Let's be clear about that. What you're trying to refund me is not even what I paid for my stuff, right? I guess that was the insurance that was on the purchase. But anyway, so I'm out of town. I'm calling them, and, she's calling me back, and she's like, I said, matter of fact, listen, ma'am, somebody got my stuff. Now, I hate to say it's my neighbor, but I clearly think it's my neighbor, because first of all, she was guilty. To me, I might have been thinking crazy. It seemed like she was guilty when I asked her, when I questioned her about it the first night, saying I did look in P3. Why are you looking in P3? Why are you looking in the box? If you don't even have a package, you're not expecting a package. Why are you looking in the box? And how did you have access to look in the box if you don't have a key in your box? So I'm just going back and forth trying to figure out what the heck she did, or what the heck did he do. So, my leasing manager was like, you're right. I feel you, like, So she calls the lady on the phone, the neighbor, and the first thing the neighbor says, is this my neighbor? Why would you think it's me? Because I don't have your number. Why would you think I'm calling you? She said, no, this is the leasing office, and I just want to know if you happen to run across the package, can you please return it? Because, it's a big thing going on with this package, and I don't want anything to come from this package, no bad energy or anything to come. Sometimes people pick up the wrong package. Sometimes you might get the wrong, parcel in your box, because that happens. So if you do so, please just return it so we can just avoid all this extra stuff. Because at this point, I was serious. I was like, you know what? If she got my package and he can't, clearly the postman don't know what's going on. He's just all, his mind is somewhere else. He's not even trying to figure out what's going on. He could care less. At this point, he's going to get in trouble with his supervisor. I'm not playing with this, and I'm going to prosecute her because I'm going to call the cops because somebody got my package, and I think you got the package. So anyway, and I might have been overthinking, but I mean, that's normal. That's what people do, you know, when stuff happens. I was trying to be cool at first, but at that point, I couldn't take it no more because it felt like nobody cared but my leasing agent. You get what I'm saying? So finally, I'm still out of town. And my dude was like, listen, just calm down. Just pray about it. You know, you pray about stuff. You got faith and this and that, and you know how you are, and you know how to talk, and you know how to calm down situations, and you know how to be patient. And I was like, you know what? He knew I had went from 0 to 100 because I was going off. I was like, you know what? I mean, this lady gonna make me call the cops on her, and I don't even want it to come to that, but it's gonna have to happen because I don't steal. So don't steal from me. Like, I don't play that. Don't take nothing from me. I'm not a thief, and don't steal from me. That's a problem. So anyway, I'm out of town. She happens to call me. She was like, I spoke to another leasing agent, which I really love her. She's so sweet. She was like, listen, I'm gonna call her myself, and I'm gonna ask her some questions and stuff. And she said, I'm gonna just see what she's talking about, where her head at, and we gonna figure this thing out. Don't you worry. So anyway, she calls me back. She was like, well, listen, her phone, she didn't answer her phone. And I left a message, so we just waiting to hear back from her. And I did say when she said, and when a postal officer comes, I'm gonna make sure I drive down the golf cart down to him, and I'm gonna ask him a few questions about that. I'm gonna let him know that, you know, we're concerned about our residence package. Like, you need to figure out what happened, or you need to figure it out. Like, you need to do something that you need to do, because this happened on your watch. So anyway, she said, I'm gonna call you back, and I'm still out of town. So she calls me, and she said, I'll be getting back in touch with you soon. I said, okay, thank you, no problem. So anyway, mind you, yesterday she called me. She was like, girl, I got some good news for you. And I was like, what? Now mind you, I got another package coming, so I'm like, they got it twisted. My other package is the one that she thinking that's my package. I said, if this package is not the one that I'm missing, I'm gonna call the cops when I get back home. So she was like, we retrieved your package. I'm like, where's my package at? She said, right here in the office. I said, put it in the safe. Don't put it in front of my door. Put it in the safe. I said, somebody done pulled a fast one. Because how all of a sudden my package was retrieved, and we've been looking for my package for 3 days. Nobody could find my package for 3 days. Now all of a sudden my package it pops up like a freaking genie in a bottle. I said, so she was like, no. She was like, we got it. I said, how? She said, well, when you get back, we'll discuss it. Go ahead and enjoy your time away, because I know you don't want to just talk about that. We talk about that for 2 days. I said, yeah. As long as we got my package, I'm satisfied. And so I was so happy to tell him, you know, I got my package. And he was like, good, I'm glad you got your package. But I'm just saying to myself, it better be the right package. It better not be one of the new packages I ordered, and they trying to play me and make me think that that's the package, and he come busting up in there with the package, talking about, yeah, this the package. It ain't even a package, but it was. So anyway, make a long story short, I got home late last night, so I couldn't wait. I said, if this better be the right package, or I'm gonna be livid if this ain't the right package. So anyway, I get back home. It was late when I got home, so I knew I wasn't gonna go up to talk to them till today. So I got me a good night. I got me a few hours when I got back. It was late. I went to sleep. I got up this morning. I went in the leasing office, and I was ready for my package. And I said, hey y'all. She said, oh, you back? I said, yes ma'am. She said, well, okay, hold on. She went in there and got that package, and I said, it gotta be the package, because it was big. And I said, if it would have been a smaller package, I knew that wasn't my package. That wasn't the right package. I knew that would have been the new package, but no, it was my package. It was a big package, and it was my package. I was so happy. I snatched it out her hand, and I was like, thank you. She was like, you was kissing her like you was kissing a baby. I didn't kiss the package, but I was just like, oh, I'm so happy. Like, literally, I was just happy because it's like chapter closed, because I didn't want to have to even go there. But trust me, I would have went there. I would have went there. I would have called the cops. I don't care about stuff. I don't play about my stuff. I work too hard for my stuff, and I don't work hard for nobody to be stealing my stuff. That's just point blank. So anyway, I got my package back. I was so happy. So when I went home, I opened it up and I did a little haul, so y'all gonna see that too. And I was so happy. And while I was away, of course, y'all know I was in the store, so I went and did a little shopping, because that's what I do. And so I picked up some items, and so I did a little haul. That's another video. Y'all gotta check that one out. But anyway, guys, I'm just so happy. So long story short, I got my stuff, and I'm so happy. And you just gotta have faith in things and know that, you know, sometimes you just gotta be patient. And I do have patience. That's because I pray for that. But I was to the point, it was like, oh my God, the sun did not shine. It did not look like a bright future, because I really thought that somebody had literally stole my stuff. I really did, and I hate that, but it is what it is. But anyway, of course, God always come through for me, and He let me see every time what I tell you, and He did. The package came through. I got my package. I'm happy. I am so happy I got my package. So guess what? Thank you, Jesus. So guys, I just want y'all to have a nice holiday. Enjoy your weekend to come. Be blessed, be happy, be loved, and don't forget to like, comment, because I'm gonna answer questions. I'm transparent. I'm an open book. Do that. And subscribe. I don't know what it is with y'all. Why y'all can't subscribe? Because y'all looking at it. It